Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing the second installment of the pharmacy series on my channel. If you haven't seen the first one, go look back at that one. That one was just basically talking about why I decided to do pharmacy, basically my pharmacy journey. So today's video is going to be more based on the PCAT and things like everything about the PCAT, things to do before the PCAT, all that stuff like that. So the way I kind of looked at the PCAT was like kind of like taking your SAT before college. So I knew that I wanted to take it early. Like I kind of did it based on kind of how I did college. So I took my SAT my junior year of high school. So I took my PCAT like within a year and a half before I wanted to actually apply for pharmacy school. Because you want to give yourself enough time, because if you don't do good on that test, then you want to still have time to be able to do more tests just to improve your grade and things like that. Yeah, so you can take the PCAT pretty much as many times as you want. But the thing with doing that is the schools that you apply for, they still see every single like test score that you've made, even though they may pick the highest one sometimes. So like you can do like this. If you did bad all these times and then you did like a really good one, that one's better for you. But say like your scores are just all over the place, then they kind of don't really know how to go from there. So it's better just to be very prepared and just go ahead and just make a good grade on it so that you don't have to worry about anything like that. Before even signing up for the PCAT, I would make sure that I've taken enough classes in college that could prepare me enough for the PCAT. I feel like you'd be fine without taking your English classes or like history, things like that. But just make sure that you've already done your pre-cal, your calculus, your anatomy, biology, chemistry, organic chemistry for sure. I mean, there wasn't a lot of organic chemistry in there, but you don't want to go in there blindly and just like going off of a book and you really don't know anything. And even when you're signing up for it, it's going to ask like how far have you taken in your math classes, your science classes, just to make sure that you're like prepared enough to actually take it. So signing up, I'm pretty sure it's on 2 different websites, because I know one's on Pearson and one's on I think PCAT admissions, because you actually have to register yourself in the system to get a ID number. And then whenever you actually sign up for the test, they're going to ask for that ID number. And that number is also going to be used in your PharmCast. I'll talk about PharmCast and everything like that in a whole separate video. But it's basically like your online admission into all of the schools that you want to go to. So your PCAT scores will be sent to PharmCast. So you really need to remember your ID number that they give you. You can always go back to the website. Just remember your login and your password. When signing up for it, it lets you pick, I think, 5 schools to send it to you for free, like your scores for your PCAT. And make sure that you also click there's like a PharmCast one, and you want to click that one too so it gets sent to your PharmCast. If I remember, I feel like the test was like $160. You pay like upfront, like as soon as you're registering. And yeah, and so then you have to fill out your actual personal ID stuff and things like that. To the testing center, you do have to bring your ID, and I mean that's kind of the only thing that I would actually bring inside the testing center. You need 2 sources of identification. So one has to be your actual ID. The other one could be like a credit card or just something with your name on it. One thing that they did tell me, like on your credit card, you have to sign the back for them to actually take it. Because I went in there with I had just got a new credit card, so I'd never signed the back of it. And I had to sign that in front of her and things like that. Okay, so let's talk more about the test. So, the test, the way that it's set up, it goes by so fast. Like it's probably about like 3 hours and 45 minutes, I think. But not so much 4 hours. So this is the book that I use. It's the Kaplan PCAT Strategies 2016-2017. The one thing I would say about this book is it's mainly like, to me it didn't give enough like practice problems. Like yes, it gives you tests at the end. It gives you 2 tests that you can take for practice. But I'm the type of person where I like to do a whole bunch of practice problems like throughout the book, like showing like, you know, what you're actually explaining to me. And it didn't even have a lot of that, especially for the math. And math is actually my like best subject, so it really didn't bother me. But I feel like for someone who is kind of, you know, lagging in math and they need more help, I don't think that book would kind of actually help you for that. The practice tests were pretty good. They're set up just like the test, so you get to kind of see like how that goes. But as far as more practice problems to actually help you out, I wouldn't really go for that type of book. So for the writing portion of the test, I didn't really study for that because that's just like your normal writing type of thing. I kind of just do the basic thing, like introduction, 3 body paragraphs, conclusion. Like that's just the most simplest thing to do. Make sure that you have a thesis in both your conclusion and your introduction. Make sure your body paragraphs actually make sense. One thing that I was actually reading in the Kaplan book that I had, they want you to be kind of like straight to the point. They don't want you to put in all these extra words, all these big fancy words, things like that, because they have to read several of these. So you want your paper to get to the point, answer their question, and you know, you need to have enough stuff in there, but not too much stuff in there. So then after the writing, I'm pretty sure it was biology next. Biology, that's kind of just your normal knowledge of biology. Like I would probably go back in your high school textbooks, go back in your college textbooks. None of the questions were too intricate, but just make sure you know everything, because there is a lot of stuff in biology and you kind of like skip over some things. I think anatomy was also in the biology portion of it. I can't really remember. But same thing with anatomy. It's nothing like, oh, what's the second muscle of, like, it's nothing like that. It's more your common knowledge, the overall picture of it. Just making sure you know things like that. So inorganic chemistry, that was just the simple part. That was just, I don't know, that part was easy. I mean, I feel like that part was easy to me. The organic chemistry, make sure you know your stuff. Like, just front and back, know your stuff in organic chemistry. If you're in organic chemistry right now, just make sure you're paying attention, because I feel like I knew my stuff while I was in class, but once that class was over, it just seemed like it just went away. After that, I'm pretty sure it's the reading portion. So this is actually my weakest part of the whole test. Like on this one, I got this part was my least score on both times that I'd taken the test. I don't know why. You would think that reading would be so simple, and it wasn't that I would run out of time, it's just I can't grasp those types of things. But for the reading, I would say to kind of do a bunch of passages and time yourself, because I think you have like 45 minutes to do, I think like 42 questions, so that's like 1 minute per question, but you also have to read through the whole passage. So what I would say for that is to kind of skim. What I did was I would just read the question and honestly just try to skim through the paper and try to find that answer, because the questions kind of go in order. Like it's not like, okay, well now you need to answer from paragraph 1. Okay, now, and if you did, it would specifically tell you. So all you had to do was go back to that one paragraph. And the last one, which is my favorite one, is the math. And it kind of made me happy that it was the last one, because it was just like, okay, I could just like I got this. This is the end of the test, and this is my favorite subject, so I just kind of went through it. The first time I took the test, I almost ran out of time on the math. And I was like, how am I running out of time? But when you think about it, you have to write down all of these like problems. You have to try and solve them on the little paper that they give you, and then type it in. You do run out of time. Like it's supposed to be like this. So the second time I took the test, I realized that I needed to come up with tricks. I also helped tutor, for like 2 weeks, I helped tutor for a PCAT math review, and I just showed them so many different tricks and like things to do to make time go by faster. Even if it asks you to find the derivative of this long equation, just find the derivative of the first part of it and then look in your answer choices and see if it's there, and then you're done. Like, don't do the whole thing. Like, it's just little stuff like that. You want to get used to these types of problems and just have faster ways for you to solve them where you don't even have to solve the full problem. You get your paper copy of your results like as soon as you leave. So you don't really have to wait. The only thing you have to wait on is your writing score, so that means your overall score isn't really accurate, but the writing is the only one you have to wait for, because they have to actually read it and grade you and score you. On all of my tests, or on the first time I took the test, I did really, really good in math, really, really bad in reading, and on all the other ones I scored average. So average, what I was reading was like, average was around 400, and so my overall score, I scored in the top 56th percentile the first time I took it. And then the second time I took it, I did better in my reading. I still did like amazing in math, and everything else kind of stayed the same. So I mean, my score didn't move up that much. That's why I really didn't think I was going to get accepted, but I did. I would try to score like really good on it if your grades in school aren't that good, so that maybe it can kind of like level out. Like you can kind of show them, okay, yeah, these grades aren't good, but look, I can take this test, I can study, I can, you know. I'm not saying if your grades are just amazing in school that you can just fail this test, but you know, you could kind of even things out, because I feel like since my score on my test was so bad, my grades in school kind of helped me out to actually get into pharmacy school. So just keep that in mind. Also, depending on what school you want to go to, see what their requirement is for their PCAT score. My requirement was like a 42, so I barely even made it. Like I was a 56. So, and some of them are higher. Like I think I was trying to go to U of H, and you needed a 75 percentile on each individual thing. So I really wouldn't have made it into that school. So thank you guys for watching. Probably the next part of this pharmacy series would probably be Pharmcast, and just kind of showing you how to go through the actual website, what you need to put in, things like that. I hope you guys are actually liking these types of videos. I know not everyone that follows me is into pharmacy, but I kind of just like sharing all this stuff because I can get some people interested, and people that are interested, they can get some knowledge, and we can just help each other out. So if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and give me a big thumbs up if you like this video, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
She's a bad thing, fine as hell, thick as fuck, oh my god, that's my baby, Caroline, you divine.